I was born and raised in Dallas, Pennsylvania, in Luzerne County. I was an avid outdoorsman since I was a small child. My aunt gave me a bird book when I was about 7 or 8 years old. Got binoculars shortly afterwards, became a bird watcher at a young age, and then a fisherman and a hunter with my family. That became my passion, and eventually I became a threatened endangered species biologist, botanist. There's so many benefits by just restoring to a forested habitat along creeks. I can't speak about it enough. We do a lot of work with the Pennsylvania Game Commission in planning along streams and marsh boundaries and so on. We are also working with Trout Unlimited on a number of projects, and the Eastern Brook Trout joint venture, we did over 2,000 trees on a half-mile of South Branch Bowman's Creek. We're restoring shade on that water for the wild brook trout to have cold enough water in the dead of summer. Right now we are on Hayfield Farms green space. The developers originally wanted to protect a huge section of the lands, old farmlands, and allow it to revert back to nature. By planting these riparian zones, we've improved the water quality, the wild trout capabilities to live in this watercourse, and a wide variety of wildlife. All the trees and shrubs that I've planted, over 2,500 trees along East Fork Harvey's Creek, are native to the location and create food and habitat for all the wildlife that use this entire watershed area. Additionally, the overall improvements are carbon uptake for global warming issues, shading of the watershed, which improves the water quality for cold water fisheries. It not only does great things for the environment, but it actually makes the development more valuable if you're a landowner, because there is a green space here, there's quiet areas, and these are the types of restoration projects that achieve so many different goals for the Chesapeake Bay, for Bowman's Creek, for the trout fishermen, the wildlife enthusiasts, bird watchers, you name it, everybody benefits. And that's the great part of my work, is I can help people, fish and wildlife, and water quality across the board. Great part about my existing job is I meet so many partners, work with so many different agencies, Fish and Boat, Game, DCNR, DEP and Natural Lands, North Branch Land Trust, Earth Conservancy. Chesapeake Bay Foundation has been a major supporter of my work. As you develop your partnerships with all the different agencies and individuals that have similar goals and parallel goals, you eventually see that that symbiotic relationship with all these different partners is very similar to what nature does. Nature takes care of its own in so many different ways. And as a conservation district employee, as a watershed specialist, I work with everybody else. Everybody contacts me for information or materials, and vice versa. I'm amazed to get this Thomas P. Shelburne Award. I never thought of myself as doing something that would get this recognition. It gives me new energy to continue and work harder at more partnerships, more people, more involvement, more education, kind of a little boost of energy in my age that people do recognize what I'm doing. I know the trees that I've planted all over creation with all the volunteers are going to last longer than I. So I'm just hoping that along the way that people recognize that there was some crazy environmentalist that was born in 1960 that doesn't matter if my name's attached to it or not, just had visions of what we should do for Luzerne County. And people could recognize it as they're fly fishing in a stream or bird watching in a forest, and they suddenly realize that this row of pin oaks was planted in a row. I wonder who did this. It will be fine for me in the afterlife.